Thank you all for
Live from deep inside your ear hole. It's the Geek Show.
Deep inside your hole.
You
gotta be careful there.
We're immediately demonetized.
Immediately. All right, let's start then. Here we go. How is everyone? Everyone's looking good.
Doing pretty well, thanks.
Yeah.
Happy Free Comic Book Day, everyone.
Yeah.
Robert Neal wearing his Free Comic Book Day. As we're recording, it's Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
So hopefully you made it to your local shop.
And if not, please do so after this.
Yes, and remember, the shops pay for those comic books that they're giving away. So when you're in the comic book store, buy a little something extra. Helps them out, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
For every free one you take, buy one.
That's a good idea. Good idea. All right. Rebecca Frost is here as well.
Hey, what up, everybody?
Can't wait for your Thunderbolts review.
I can't wait for you guys to see it.
I'm excited.
I don't usually see movies twice, but I'm over here like, how can I convince my husband to go to a movie theater?
I mean, I'm going tomorrow, so if you want to tag along.
There you go. Quad T, Too Tall Tony is here.
Hey.
Hi.
Yep.
You
Hi.
look good in pink, by the way. I just want to say.
Feel good in pink.
Pink's a good look on you.
It's like red, but not quite.
I got some Thunderbolt tickets for later this afternoon, so I'm excited.
Can't wait. All right.
And our host, Gary Jackson.
And
hi.
Did you say Rob already?
I did say Rob.
You started with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Monday through Friday. Yeah, Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com. All right. This first trailer and only trailer that we're going to talk about.
We're not going to talk about Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
No, we're not. But
a movie about actual wizards.
Go and watch this trailer. I'd show it to you here, but we get kicked off of YouTube for some reason. Go and watch the trailer for Weapons. And I'm telling you.
Watch it in a very bright room.
Yes.
Do not watch it in the dark.
Scary movies don't affect me. Except a couple of times. The last time, and forgive my crude way of putting it, the last time my butt puckered like that was watching The Babadook.
Oh.
That genuinely scared me. All right. And then there was Barbarian.
Same writer-director as Weapons.
Exactly. And that's why this trailer is freaking me out. I still have kind of a PTSD from Barbarians, and now he's doing this. Hordes of ceaselessly running kids with creepy faces in the dark. It's just, they released the studio, and it explains everything in the entire plot in the trailer.
The premise, not the plot.
Well, the premise. The plot is that at 2:17 on a Wednesday morning, an entire class of school kids mysteriously vanish. And then they pull out security camera footage and find that they all got up at the same time. They all walked out into the streets and ran down the streets with their arms, like they're kind of airplane kind of thing.
A half Naruto.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like and all of it's one class, and it's this teacher, Mrs. Gandy, who is Julia Garner, Silver Surfer. And so the town kind of turns on her, thinking, "What did you do to our kids?"
And we actually know what happened to these kids. They all wound up in a Bonnie Tyler video for Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Remind me to tell you my Total Eclipse of the Heart story someday, Rob.
After party.
After party. Remind me. I'll tell you that story. This looks great. August 8th is when this hits theaters. And what's the name of the guy who wrote and directed this?
His name is Zach Kreger.
Zach Kreger. And he was on a show.
The Whitest Kids You Know.
The Whitest Kids You Know. He was also the star of a show about a group of people whose plane crashes on an island that wasn't lost.
Oh, found?
The 4400?
I can't know. It was a comedy show.
Oh.
And
It's called Wrecked.
Wrecked. That's it. Thank you. And it was a funny show.
I was gonna say, how do you make a tragedy about a plane crash? People's plane crashing on an island, make that a comedy? And then I realized Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island.
I saw a theory about weapons where it's probably like a metaphor for school shootings.
Oh.
Do with that what you will.
Maybe.
Oh. Or, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yes. Okay. I'm sticking with that. That's good. Now I have to see the movie. August 8th is when it opens. But I'm telling you, it's very unsettling to watch this trailer.
Bright
It's
room.
just
That's all I'm saying. Bright room.
creepy as hell. It's just, I can't wait for it. It's going to be great. Let's see. Speaking of after party, as I did earlier, everyone coming to the after party, remind me, and I'll tell you the total eclipse of the heart story. That's the after party happens if you're a member of our Patreon. Go to geekshowgotthiscovered.com and you can join the Patreon and see the after party, which means we just continue this show after this, and it's not available to anybody but you, our members of our Patreon. And the little bit of money that we ask you for helps us keep the lights on, and it's just a nice thing to do. Also, our gear is available, geekshow.store, as you can see, modeled by the very attractive Tony Eccles there,
Thanks.
wearing his pink. Those are on clearance, by the way. The flag and the fashion doll shirt are on clearance, so get those. And I got myself one of those lanyards. If you're at work, you have to have a lanyard anymore. I got me one of those Geek Show lanyards. I like that. Looks good. Anyway, geekshow.store is where you go for that. Also, let's remind you that Lee George Cade, he sends his love, by the way. I spoke with him briefly yesterday via the internet, and he sends his love and thank you. And you can help him with his medical bills. He's feeling okay. He's starting to feel a little bit better. And I'd tell you more, but it's not my place to tell you. But I'll tell you guys off the air what he's going through. But that is the Venmo where you can send money directly to the Cade family and help them with their myriad medical bills. So there it is right there on the Venmo. And it's on the YouTube channel. If you're just listening to the audio, go to the YouTube channel. You can see the Venmo. It's right there. You could help the Cade family. All right, let's continue. Now this story, yeah, exactly, Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is apparently in the early stages of a writing treatment for, it wouldn't be Deadpool 4. It would be an X-Men movie with Deadpool in it.
Okay.
This shouldn't be news.
It shouldn't be news.
We all assumed this was going to happen.
But we all assumed, we finally got some confirmation
Yeah.
that's what he's working on right now. So he wants to put together an X-Men style movie with Deadpool and maybe 3 or 4 other X-Men.
Oh, I'm sure.
So he's putting that together now. I'm positive. I don't know this for sure, but I'm positive it'd be like X-Force would be my thought.
That makes sense. Bring back Colossus, though. Come on now.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure. That's just a given. I mean,
My fave.
you need a straight man, and he is the
right.
ultimate straight man. So he's working on that. It's early days and far from becoming a reality, but he likes to tinker with concepts, and it took him a while to come up with the whole Deadpool Wolverine plot that we saw. He went through like 3 different incarnations, one of them being like an independent A24 road movie with Deadpool and Wolverine, which when you hear him describe it, you go, yeah, I'm glad that Kevin Feige told you no on that. That's a terrible idea. But so he's working on that. Now, to add fuel to the Ryan Reynolds fire, and I know that Rebecca's been following this, the future of Deadpool is addressed in these new court documents involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
Is this still going on?
It is still going on. In a new document reported by Deadline, lawyers representing Marvel and Disney explain that releasing the documents regarding the development of the character Nice Pool, a character in Deadpool and Wolverine,
Who gets absolutely slaughtered, by the way.
it could be detrimental to the company, they say. The requested documents are particularly sensitive because they relate to the development of a character in an ongoing movie franchise, the letter reads. Marvel has built the success of the MCU in large part by interconnecting storylines, plots, and characters across titles, including crossover events and sequels. Whether and how much such elements will appear in upcoming unreleased projects is the subject of much public interest, and this information is closely guarded by Marvel.
Makes sense.
Now, this whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni thing is, I don't know if you've been following it. Rebecca, could you give us like a brief rundown of what this is all about?
Yeah, Blake Lively suing Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment, and they put out a whole thing in, I don't remember which magazine it was, but they put out a whole thing, and Justin Baldoni is suing back for defamation and saying that they altered like text messages and stuff that they published, and I don't have anything nice to say about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in regards to this whole thing.
I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, you're Team Justin? Oh, okay.
I am Team Justin. Which you can take away my feminist card, whatever. That's fine.
I was going to say, because I read some of the details, and I'm not Team Justin, that's for sure.
That's the thing. Well, what's so funny? Every man I've talked to is Team Blake, and every woman I've talked to is Team Justin. So, do with that what you will.
I read some of the stuff that he said to her, and I just was like, ooh.
Yeah, and I have my own opinions about maybe the kind of abusive relationship that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are in, but
Like
I don't.
each other?
Yeah, well, him to her, but I mean, I don't know these people. I don't know these people, so I don't have an official opinion because I don't want people to come after me.
And that's the thing with stuff like this is like nobody knows what actually went down except for the people that were right there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of he said, she said, they said, you said.
But what if this is all really just like a big WWE storyline? And we all find out later that it was just all scripted.
In the end, it was John Cena.
Well, they were working, Blake Lively and Justin were working on It Ends With Us. And Ryan Reynolds was brought in to help kind of punch up the script a little bit. And I guess that
During
was
the writer's strike, by the way.
Yeah, and that was his...
Hey.
That was... He created the... allegedly created the character Nice Pool based on Justin Baldoni.
Ultimately, it's a situation where maybe everybody sucks.
That's
Could
that's
be.
how I'm viewing it, honestly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're all dumb. Like,
Could be. But so Disney is saying we're not releasing these papers, anything about the creation of the character Nice Pool, because we may decide to use him again, and how he came about. That's our business and not yours. And so I guess they're protecting Ryan a little bit.
well, protecting Ryan and their IP. I mean, a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Anyway, so there's that. The Sergeant Rock movie.
I read this. I read what you put, and I'm just kind of like, thank God.
Yeah.
Aww.
I just, yeah. When I read that they were doing this, I was just like, do people want that? Do we need this?
Here's the
You
thing.
know?
I just got back from France. I was at Omaha Beach. I took my Sergeant Rock figure to put him on the beach with Nick Fury and Captain America. And I was glad to hear that this is not happening. Thank you. Just after all of the hullabaloo that has been going on behind the scenes with this.
Yeah, apparently the feature project with Luca Guadagnino in the director's chair, Colin Farrell as Sergeant Rock. It's not going to happen. They're saying it's because Colin Farrell is entirely too busy. But
Well, I wonder too, because Luca is working on an American Psycho remake.
and then there's that, which apparently is getting a lot of heat right now. This American Psycho remake. Everybody's talking about.
Of movies that don't need to be remade.
I agree.
American Psycho is.
But at the same time, I'm looking forward to a different take on it. At the same time, because I'm one of those weirdos that like that movie.
Well, no, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, but it's one of those like Apocalypse Now or Godfather. All guys seem to like it for some reason. I like it for different reasons, but
I've never seen any
And
of those movies.
directed by a woman, by the way. So,
Yes.
men, if you like it, think about that.
It's
Let that
oh yeah.
marinate.
Oh no, it's a complete parody of the bro culture before bro culture even hit the internet, and now we're inundated by it. But anyway, so yeah, you're not getting a Sergeant Rock movie.
Yay.
And this is a good news bad news situation. Good news in that Tony can finally watch Rocky Horror Picture Show in 4K.
Oh, what I've always been waiting for.
Damn it, Janet.
It has been newly restored and remastered in 4K Ultra HD to mark the 50th anniversary of its initial release. It was a 10-month project overseen by Disney. I love the idea that Disney owns this now.
So then Tim Curry is a Disney princess.
He
There we
is,
go.
yes. But they took all that time, cleaned it up. Digital scan preservation process ensures the clarity of each frame. This version includes a newly mixed Dolby Atmos audio track with the original mono audio also being fully restored. So if you want to hear it in audio the way that it was supposed to be in mono, you can do that. Yeah, so it's coming out soon.
So, Tony, you've never seen Rocky Horror?
I watched it a long time ago. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's you that hasn't seen it. Okay, I knew it was one of the kids' table members that hadn't seen it. Go ahead and do it, Rebecca. Yeah. Come on.
Maybe now for the 50th.
There you go.
There's
Do
your
it.
chance.
But also the people are they're touring with it. They've got Barry Bostwick. They've got Magenta and Columbia. I forgot the actresses' names. But they're all out touring with a re-release for the 50th anniversary.
They got nothing else to do?
I guess so, in theaters. And did you know that there was a sequel?
What?
No.
Not a lot of people remember this because it failed so horribly.
Rocky Road Ice Cream Show?
No, it was and that was part of the problem, was that it wasn't characters that you were familiar with. They were all new characters. It just took place in Brad and Janet's hometown, Denton.
Yeah, but what?
Yeah, exactly. At the beginning of the movie, Rocky Horror, you can see a sign that says Denton, home of happiness. And that's where that's
the
where they
tie-in.
live. That's the tie-in. It's called Shock Treatment. And Richard O'Brien, who is Riff Raff in the movie, he plays this doctor, this mad scientist, who's using shock treatment to cure people of something. I mean, it's.
Is this movie basically the Wizard of Oz of Rocky Horror? So all the people that you've seen in Rocky Horror exist in Denton, but they're normal people?
Boy, none of them seem normal in shock treatment.
Okay,
I'll be honest,
having not even known about shock treatment until
See, and I never saw it, and I was a Rocky Horror fan. I never saw it. It came and went just like that. It was just so fast. Even Rocky Horror fans went, no.
I don't even know if I finished watching it when I tried to watch it.
It's an interesting thing.
I
It's
think-
also
I feel
interesting
like-
seeing it with an audience.
I feel like I got about 2/3 through, and then I ended up being like the knights in Monty Python talking about going to Camelot.
It's a silly place. We
Let's
should
not go to Camelot. Let's not finish the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a very silly movie.
Oh, it is.
It is.
It is very silly. But again, I just love the fact that Disney owns this and they restored it and putting it out on 4K. It makes me also think that maybe they'll do the same with the original version of Star Wars. I really, in my
Carrie,
heart, believe this.
But we had that.
I know, but they're going to do it again
We
because
want it on Blu-ray.
money.
Disney money? Really?
They can't say no. They can't say no. Okay. Rebecca is very excited about this.
Aquaman?
New Aquaman?
Chris Hemsworth is going to star in a submarine thriller. Now, what was the last movie? You and Jay loved the
Extraction?
Extraction movies.
Extraction.
This one is called Subversion. So you can yell
Subversion.
Subversion now.
I know we need Jay here.
Are they doing this on purpose?
I think they are. Subversion, a submarine thriller directed by Patrick Vollrath, whoever that is, will direct it for Amazon. Lorenzo di Bonaventura producing.
That part doesn't thrill me.
Yeah, and here's how I know it's going to fail. Here's the plot description. Die Hard on a submarine. That's okay. I'm out.
What do you mean you're out?
Anytime someone describes the movie as Die Hard, fill in the blank. Die Hard, but fill in the blank. I'm out. I'm not interested.
So he has to crawl across the submarine instead of up the building.
The building.
Didn't we
Yeah.
get this? Wasn't it called Hunt for Red October?
That's what I thought.
This is the Hunt for Blue October about the band's comeback.
Centers
They
on
were
a
hiding in the engine room.
Yeah. Centers on a once promising naval commander, Chris Hemsworth, who is blackmailed by a cartel like operation into piloting a dangerous submarine carrying illegal cargo across international waters. Thrust into a high stakes game of cat and mouse. There's another in the descriptor that you look for, that you avoid, a cat and mouse game. The man must outmaneuver blockades and navigate perilous threats both in and outside of the submarine.
Okay, hang on a second, because now, with that description, it is the Hunt for Red October
Ah,
with drugs.
with
Well,
drugs.
hang on now. They just said illegal cargo. The spin is at the end, it's counterfeit Pokemon cards.
Which are more valuable.
That's right.
So it's Red October with with Pokemon cards now. So this is
Yeah.
and Thor.
Well, Egg's excited. He likes submarine movies. So
I mean, I enjoy submarine movies, but I mean, give me something solid. This one, it's a little thin.
it does feel a little thin, doesn't it? But again, show me what you got. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
It'll be on Amazon, so it's not like you have to go to a theater to watch it.
Also true.
And here's another one that you probably won't have to go to a theater to watch. Roadhouse 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Roadhouse.
Did you guys watch this first
I
one?
did.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
The
I
Jake
did.
Gyllenhaal one?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was just big dumb fun, right?
Even though Conor McGregor was in it, I watched it anyway.
He played
Yeah, Conor
himself.
McGregor was just there as himself. And I don't know
Exactly.
if it was like perfect or insane.
It worked for the movie.
Because, yeah, he didn't have to act. He just showed up, stood in place, and said things. And, they probably didn't even give him a script. He probably just said those things because he's
Point the camera at him.
who he is. Piece of shit. Jake Gyllenhaal is back as the ex-UFC fighter turned bouncer, of course. Here's the twist, though. Guy Ritchie is going to direct it.
See, now I'm even
Damn
more
it.
excited.
See, Will Beal, whose credits range from comic book movies like Aquaman, to action flicks like Bad Boys Ride or Die, is writing the script. And, of course, we all know that Guy Ritchie, knuckle-busting movies for decades, so...
All of these puzzle pieces fit together, if you ask me.
And again, this is one you probably won't need to go to the theater to watch, because the other one was on Netflix, right?
Prime.
Amazon.
That's it. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if it had been Netflix, there's a chance since every once in a while Netflix tries to shoehorn one of their movies into theaters.
Yeah,
But if
for
it's
awards
Amazon-
consideration.
Yeah, if it's Amazon, then I don't sense that as strongly as a possibility.
Did you guys read anything about it was the head of Netflix, Ted Sarandos, part-time Utah?
Movies are dead. Theaters are dead.
He says movie theaters are dead.
Because you can't walk to them.
Because you can't walk to them. Well, it's because we haven't designed our cities to be walking cities, is why. But that's got a lot
Spread out.
to do with it anyway. But yeah, that was a big debate that was happening in the Hollywood trades this week. Was once he said that, everybody went, "Hey, hey, hey!" And here's the thing: is that I kind of agree with him, but at the same time, I don't.
Well, I don't think movies are dead. I think movies are morphing. They're changing. It's going to become more of people go to the movies not just to see a movie because they go because they want the movie experience, right? Mm-hmm. And that is also a problem these days because the movie experience can be such a turd with some of the people that sit in the theater next to you.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard.
So it's the people that are killing movies.
Yeah, not the movies themselves.
I mean, I want to go and see Thunderbolts, but I'm not going to go this weekend because it's going to be busy and there'll be assholes. I'll go on Monday or Tuesday when no one else is there and have the theater to myself. I've always said that I think movie theaters will exist for big movies.
Yeah.
I think that the filmmakers need to start thinking about these small talkie films on a platform like a Netflix or an Apple or something.
Or you time your release throughout the year where there's no big tentpole movies and simultaneously release. Have them in the theater as well as available on demand. You know, something. There's a path forward.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, didn't Warner Brothers do that with one of the Godzilla movies, where it released in theaters and on streaming at the same time? And it may not have been. It may not have been one of the Godzilla movies. It wasn't. Didn't they do something that
Well,
released in both?
There was a couple during COVID times that
Yeah.
did that.
where they released them in theaters for a couple of weeks and then threw them on a streaming.
Or there was a few that was same day.
Five Nights at Freddy's was one,
Yes.
and it did
That's
very
one.
well.
Yep.
Yes,
See,
that's
there you
one.
go.
Thank you, Rebecca.
So there's a path forward. We just, you know, people got to find it.
Yep. And here's one. See, here's what. This could be a very big film, and this would probably be fine in theaters because it's Miami Vice. Again, Rebecca's argument that there are no new ideas. Joseph Kosinski directing. So that interests me.
Is that him on the left?
Is it? I think it is.
Kaczynski?
I mean,
He's a director,
so.
so I don't know. Could
He
be.
could be like Josh Brolin's brother. He looks a ton like Josh Brolin.
And Dan Gilroy is penning the script from an earlier draft by Top Gun Maverick writer Eric Warren Singer, who had to move on to other stuff.
Joe Kosinski is friends with Tom Cruise because he did the Maverick. He directed the Maverick.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Top Gun Maverick, yeah. So, I mean, he's a good action director. We know that. And Miami Vice has certainly got the possibility of being a good action film.
But I mean, one, they get name recognition from like Carrie and Me,
Yeah.
who, you know, back on Friday nights in the '80s would, you know, wait
Yeah.
for the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But we already had Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx.
That's right.
Yeah.
As
And it was
Crockett
actually a
Tubbs.
pretty good movie. He actually did a pretty solid job.
And it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to do Miami Vice, you do it as a period piece.
Get Will Forte in there.
Well, I mean, put him in everything. That guy's great.
Okay.
I'd watch that.
Jimmy Johns makes a good point. I want a Drive plus Collateral type Miami Vice movie. I will argue that that seems like a pretty solid idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both of those movies, a combination or an amalgamation of those two movies would be interesting. And I also agree with Carrie, period piece, because I mean, this is totally 80s era, maybe early 90s at a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But make it a period piece and, you know, just do the complete flashback and you know, lean totally into it.
In the Colin Farrell one, I barely remember it. I only saw it once. Did they use Phil Collins in The Air Tonight?
No,
Because
I
they
don't think
should
they
have.
did. But I mean, to be honest, I mean, remembering like the scenes where they use that for the like the original show,
Yeah, if you go to YouTube and search Miami Vice in The Air
Phil
Tonight,
Collins, yeah,
and you'll
because
see
for
it.
the episode that they used that in, it was kind of instrumental for the way that, oh wow, going way back, that Sonny Crockett's character was what he was going through, and that scene, the song fit perfectly. I don't know that I want them to try and recapture that kind of lightning in a bottle because I think it'll miss unless they are very, very careful with it.
You know what they're talking
kind of like
about, Rebecca? 'Cause I don't.
This is before my time.
you know, it's
Just
kind of like Captain Marvel, and I know that Rebecca had an issue with this. In Captain Marvel, when they have the big fight scene with the Skrulls at the end, and they just go, "Let's do just a girl."
Oh yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah. So I'd like them to give me something a little fresh. I mean, I would even take something edging in the Bad Boys direction,
Yeah.
since these two were kind of like, you know, the outsiders of that group. And, you know, if you really want to get me put my butt in a chair for this, get Edward James Olmos in a cameo, since he was their lieutenant on the show.
Yes, he was their boss. He didn't have many lines in the entire episode.
No, but he was always just kind of little brooding and just like
Yeah.
gruff and then they go off on their whatever the
On their
assignment they had.
adventures, yeah.
Classic Adama.
I mean, it was a groundbreaking show. It really
Oh, yeah.
was.
Tony, you're not far off. I mean, it was, you could see the beginnings of that character for Adama in the way that Castillo, because he was very deadpan, very serious, very by the book, and the fact that he had these two yahoos in his precinct, not always following the rules, and it wasn't like Lethal Weapon not following the rules, but it was also like Don Johnson's character was not afraid to color outside the lines, and Richard, no, what was,
So he was the Starbuck.
he was the Starbuck, and
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy who played Tubbs' names. Richard, it wasn't Richard Thomas.
Philip Michael.
Philip
Thomas?
Michael Thomas, yeah.
Thank you.
He was the one who was kind of like the straight man of the pair, just like, dude, we got to get this done. We got
He's
to.
the son Adama.
He was the Lee Adama, yeah.
Captain
There you go.
Adama.
There you go. See, we can make it relatable. See?
Everything comes back to Battlestar Galactica, guys.
I've always felt that, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Now here's a story that really took me by surprise. I mean, people live in bubbles. They really do. And
Just John Travolta.
And I get the feeling that John Lithgow is an old man who lives in a bubble, who just isn't aware.
Very
Because-
well
But
could
he has people. His agent should have warned him.
Well, they
That's
should have,
true.
yes. The headline is John Lithgow says he was surprised by backlash over joining the Harry Potter series. He was surprised by this. He was being interviewed by the Times in London, and he said he's received a lot of feedback from friends and fans suggesting that he shouldn't have taken the role because J.K. Rowling is a shit. He said that he received a text from a friend who sent him a link to an article titled "An Open Letter to John Lithgow, Please Walk Away from Harry Potter" before he had signed on for the role. He received another text from a very good friend who is the mother of a trans child, and that was the canary in the coal mine. That's when he realized, oh, this is a thing, isn't it?
Well, let's
And
take this
still
back
did
to-
it.
Let's take this back to the world according to Garp.
Well, yeah, I don't think that Rowling knows that he played a trans character in the world according to Garp. I just don't
Yeah.
think he knows that. Asked if he expected the criticism, Lithgow replied, "No, absolutely not. Of course, it was a big decision because it's probably the last major role I'll play. It's an 8-year commitment, so I was just thinking about mortality and that this is a very good winding down role." He continued, I thought...
This is a good role to just phone it in for the rest of my
it
life.
in,
Die
exactly.
at the end of.
I mean, he's looking at it going, this isn't hard for me. I'm John fucking Lithgow, after all. He continued, I thought, why is this a factor at all? I wonder how J.K. Rowling has absorbed it. I suppose at a certain point I'll meet her, and I'm curious to talk to her. Asked if the criticism has discouraged him, he replied, oh, heavens, no.
He's going to change her from the inside.
Oh,
But
there you go.
here's how I know he's out of touch, though. Here's what he said. He added that he's confused why there's been so much criticism about this, but none when he agreed to play author Roald Dahl in the
Come
West End play
on.
Giant. See, this is how I know he's out of touch. He's
Well, those are two very different things.
he says, nobody complained when I agreed to play Dahl, but I received so many messages about J.K. Rowling. Isn't that odd?
When was the doll thing?
The Roald Dahl play?
Yeah.
It was on the West End. It does not have a date here.
Because was it even really public knowledge about Roald Dahl's stuff?
Well,
at
I mean,
the time.
I mean, he was Roald Dahl was kind of an anti-Semite.
Right, but when did we all realize that? is
When
my
his
question.
family apologized for it.
Yeah. So I mean, might have not even been in the same time period. And that's why
Yeah.
he didn't notice anything.
But see, that just says to me he's
Out of
he's
touch.
not online. He's he's just in this bubble. This
Do you
Kinda
know?
like,
Do you know who is online though? Nick
His people.
Frost. No,
Yes.
Nick Frost, who's playing Hagrid.
yeah.
exactly. I wonder if does he
speaking
need
of-
the?
Go ahead.
I was just wondering if Nick Frost needs the money that much. But anyway, go ahead.
Probably not. But well, speaking of not being online and getting it, did you guys see a couple months back when they interviewed Cowbell? Why can't I remember his name?
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken, about how he watches Severance after it's filmed. Like, he has to have a DVD hand delivered because he doesn't do technology, basically.
I can't get the Apple.
I don't do the streaming. I don't do the Apple Plus. You know,
It's an app. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
John Lithgow played Roald Dahl in 2024. So
So that was well
just
after.
last year.
Yep. Okay.
That's
there you go.
recent. Oh, well. I guess when you're John Lithgow, you don't have to worry about things like that. And finally, this. Speaking of keeping me away from movie theaters,
Oh yes, I know what you're about to talk about. and
this
I feel the
this
same.
happened on Friday, May 2nd. And, you know, the more I thought about it, I went, this is the way you should be doing it. Okay? And I don't know how successful these screenings were, but they were called block party editions. We had a few here in Utah, and I looked on theaters around the nation were doing this on May 2nd. And what it is it is like a Rocky Horror situation where the audience is encouraged to participate with the movie. All the
went to a-
memeing, you know.
I went to a regular screening and I felt like it was like this. It was the most outrageous, wild movie theater I've ever been in.
Was it
crazy.
fun?
No. But did I still enjoy the movie? Yes.
Okay. But yeah, this is this is where they say here's how they promoted it. Fans back to the theater experience Minecraft movie together with a whole new way. You know the moments, you know the lines, you love the songs. Now it's time to get loose, laugh out loud, and belt out those lyrics like a true Diamond Tier fan.
So what I'm hearing is this is like Mamma Mia for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mamma
Sing
Mia was
along.
fun.
For kids. Did you miss that part?
Minecraft was fun. I like that movie.
No, but I'm thinking, okay, but you just said that you did not enjoy the experience because of the kids in the movie. And this is going to be that more.
Right. And so I would never ever think about buying a ticket to this, these showings.
Yeah.
Right.
But-
And am I glad that it's happening for the kiddos? Sure. Have a blast.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is the way it should be. They should you should go into the screening knowing that this is going to happen. And I would think that if you were to gather together with a bunch of like-minded people who want to do this, you're going to make some friends. It's going to be a great time. And maybe that's the way it should be. I don't know. I do want to see this movie. I won't go to the theater to see it.
Not even
I
towards
just-
like the end of its run where you're just kind of like, oh, they're going to take it out of the theaters next week. Now's the time to go see it in the theater.
Maybe.
Rebecca, you were at least lukewarm about it when you reviewed it, and now you're just frowning the whole time.
Minecraft?
Yeah, I thought
I
you
never
were-
saw it.
Oh, I thought you
Oh.
did. and
Oh.
Oh, maybe
Nope.
I'm thinking of someone else.
This,
Oh, well.
not for me.
I think you'd like the first 30 minutes pretty well.
Okay,
before
but how
they-
long
Then
is
I
the
have to sit
movie?
through the rest of a movie.
Well, no, hang on now. The first 30 minutes, in my opinion, is 10 out of 10 Jared Hess stuff. And then the rest of the movie is like a 7 out of 10 Jared Hess stuff. So, do you like Jared Hess movies?
I mean, kind of. Only kind of.
Maybe not for you then.
What's the Jared Hess movie with horses in the title? I can't remember.
Gentlemen Broncos?
Gentleman Broncos. That's it.
That movie
Yeah,
is
but what?
Well, my
weird.
friend Paulette,
Super weird.
she loves that movie.
Yeah.
And she kept telling me, Carrie, you've got to see this movie. You've got to see it.
It's bizarre.
And I started it, and I couldn't finish it. I
Yeah,
just went,
it's out there. Think of Napoleon or Nacho, but then like multiply the weirdness by 100.
yeah.
Like, and then you're getting
I
around
couldn't,
Gentlemen
I couldn't
Broncos.
finish it. Yeah. And I even called her up. I said, I don't know what time it is where you are right now,
How
Paulette, but what the
dare
hell? What the hell did you just do to me? That was terrible. Anyway. All right.
Wow.
What did
Okay.
what did we consume this week?
Oh,
Kid
I mean,
Rocky.
yeah,
Rebecca,
I'm happy to
go.
go. Just immediate apologies for my microphone because I don't know what's going on. So, deepest, sincerest apologies. If you watch Taskmaster, the British game show, the new season of that is back, and American comedian Jason Mantzoukas is on this season.
What?
He has been asking for years if he can be on this show, and they finally said yes. And he came to play the game. He has come fully prepared to play.
Where can I watch this?
You can watch it on YouTube.
Yes.
It's great.
I'll watch anything with Jason Mantzoukas. That
He's
guy,
great.
He kills me.
He's great. He's like the rest of us who watch Taskmaster and go, "Here's what I would do." And so he came with a lockpicking set. He came with a pocket knife. He came fully prepared with
Wait a minute,
tools.
you're allowed to have all that stuff?
He got it in.
he
Probably smuggled it in the old prison wallet.
Yeah, he just brought it.
Oh, okay.
Like I said,
along with the watch that
Yep.
his father carried for
Yeah, his
7
father
years.
carried, yeah.
Little
yeah, he came prepared to play. Okay. Another Simple Favor, a sequel to 2018's A Simple Favor, starring Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick, picks up with Anna Kendrick's character Stephanie, who is a mommy vlogger turned true crime author who is cashing in on her experiences from the first movie. And then Blake Lively's character Emily returns and blackmails Anna Kendrick's character into being her maid of honor at her wedding in Capri, Italy. It's fun. It's beautiful. Beautiful outfits, beautiful locations, and Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively have some great chemistry together. But overall, the movie's pretty bland. I would compare this to a thriller novel that you pick up at the airport because your phone died. And I am starting to have respect for filmmakers who are making movies and shows just so that they can go on vacation.
They showed a clip of Anna Kendrick's toast at the wedding. She was doing a talk show, and it showed the clip of her meandering toast at the wedding party. They're just like, that's awkward. So are there many awkward moments in the movie, kind of like that?
It's only awkward because you spend the whole time wondering when Blake Lively will kill again.
Okay.
Yeah. So like like I said, their chemistry is really fun. But overall the movie's pretty bland. You can watch it on Amazon Prime at home from the comfort of your couch.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. The Surfer, an Australian movie starring Nicolas Cage. He plays a father who is returning to the beach of his childhood with his son to go surfing. He says he grew up in Australia and he nary once has the whiff of an accent. It's hilarious.
I will point you to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Thank you.
And he is humiliated by a group of locals, and then what follows is a descent into madness and conflict that pushes him to the breaking point. This is the latest entry into weird Nicolas Cage psycho thrillers, and this is a role that can really only be played by Nicolas Cage. It is very visually stylish. I have learned the term Ozploitation, as in Ozploitation films, which is a category of like low budget horror comedy action films made in Australia after the introduction of the R rating in Australia. So stuff like Mad Max, like early Mad Max is an example of Ozploitation. It's weird. I really liked this movie because I like weird movies. But my husband was really stressed out. So if you if you get anxious easily, maybe not the movie for you. And then Thunderbolts. We all know Thunderbolts, latest team up of action anti-heroes. Pretty standard premise. Group of bad guys, air quotes bad guys, must work together to save themselves and each other. And this movie, I loved this movie. Really caught me by surprise. If you're in therapy, you'll love Thunderbolts.
All right.
Well, and is that because of the Sentry or all the characters?
Everybody. There's no villains in this movie, just your inner demons. And this movie has a lot of heart and a lot of personality. Florence Pugh is, I think, a once-in-a-lifetime talent, and we are very lucky to have her. And she really shines in this movie. And Lewis Pullman as Bob is fantastic. I didn't hate John Walker. I actually really liked what they did with John Walker in this movie.
Cool.
Give your friends a hug. Just check in on your friends and give them a hug.
So I will have to bring a box of tissues for this then.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
I was at one point like, hey, why am I tearing up at this Marvel movie?
Oh,
Glowing,
I am Groot. That's
Yes.
why.
glowing reviews. Like, so it is so refreshing to see everybody go, hey, this movie's actually really good. And is it now in my top 10 MCU movies? Like, it is. And you see heroes saving civilians again. When was the last time we saw
been a
heroes
while.
saving civilians?
it's
Yeah.
been a
Sokovia.
while. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sokovia. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
A while. Yeah.
So question for you. You say that Lewis Pullman does a good job as Bob.
Yes.
So looking at that and kind of looking at the repertoire of work that he's had, how do you think that Stephen Ewan would have done had he had that role? Do you think that Pullman does a better job of pulling off the believability?
I think this is a role for Pullman.
Okay.
He
Really?
crushes it. He just does. He's phenomenal. I
Because
think.
part of I mean, I only know Sentry from the comics, but part of what makes that character appealing is the character of Bob. And he's just this sweet man.
And Stephen Yeun can do that.
He can do that, but he's done so much now that I would have a hard time seeing him as this sweet man, you know?
Yeah, and
Especially
Lewis
after
Pullman.
Beef.
Lewis Pullman just has the Bill Pullman face, which is sweet,
Yeah.
right? It's
I mean,
very
He's got-
nice.
He's got a
I mean-
trusting mug.
Somebody
Yeah.
pointed it out, you know, you got Bill Pullman's kid, you got
And
Kurt Russell's kid.
Kurt Russell's kid. Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody it's just fantastic. It's just a fantastic movie, and I can't wait for everyone to see it and love it as well.
and there's 2 cutscenes,
2 post-credit scenes. Yeah.
post credit. Yeah.
Do not watch the credits of this movie. I'm typically huge proponent of staying to watch the credits because these people worked very hard on this movie and they deserve to have their names read. Don't look at the credits because it spoils the post-credit scene.
Oh.
Interesting.
So stay and watch the credits. on
So
your
it's like
second
stay for the post credit scenes. Just don't look at the words as they're scrolling by.
Stare down at the ground.
viewing. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What do you give it?
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was just it was so funny. Like, I laughed really hard at Deadpool and Wolverine, but I laughed really hard at Thunderbolts for entirely different reasons. It was nice to watch a Marvel movie that didn't feel like it had an agenda.
Interesting.
Like,
excited
is
to
it
see
is it setting up for future stuff? Absolutely, but it wasn't in your face with like, oh, do you remember this? Isn't this fun? Or isn't this like the way Captain America: Brave New World kind of did? It didn't feel like I was being forced to eat my vegetables.
Okay.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited to see this. I'm going to go see it early in the week. All right. Who is
I have a
next?
question for Rebecca.
Yes.
Yeah.
As an A24 connoisseur, what do you think of that new trailer for the A24 movie with Dwayne Johnson?
Unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's got I can't even remember what it's called, but he plays this not even a wrestler, it's like a UFC fighter, I think. And Emily Blunt plays his wife. It's directed by one of the Safdie brothers, and yeah, he looked unrecognizable in it. So I'm actually
Curious, right?
curious about
Yeah.
how he does in it. Yeah.
Be interesting.
The thing
right.
about Dwayne Johnson is you give him the right director and he actually can act. He doesn't have to play the same character over and over again.
It's just easy for him, I think, to
Oh.
lean into.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
if I could make $20 million a year
Being
Just
The Rock.
being myself or
Well, it's
whatever,
good.
or a magnified version of myself, you bet I'd do it.
I was going to say the director of this film. I wonder how many times he had to say, "No, that's The Rock. That's
it
not what
again."
I'm after. Do it again.
Yeah.
You're being
Okay,
The
well, if
Rock.
you're-
Don't do that."
But if you're looking for something where he plays very much against type, something like Kevin Hart, Central Intelligence.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Watching that movie and watching him completely not be The Rock.
I enjoyed that movie.
And he's the comedic character, and Kevin Hart plays the straight guy. And that change was just like, that is phenomenal because I would have never expected these performances from these two people this way.
Because to me, when I watch Moana, and I loved both of those movies, by the way,
Yeah,
those
they're
animated
great.
films. He's essentially the Rock when he's playing Maui. It's,
sure.
it's and that's by design, and I
Yeah.
think that's why it works so well. And when I saw the trailer for this one that you're talking about, I was just like, oh God, as long as he's not the Rock in it, then we got something here, you know.
Oh, you mean Black Adam? Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's that one too. He was in a long time ago. Faster. Did you guys ever see
Yes.
Faster?
I did not.
Did you ever
That
see
was-
Pain and Gain?
That's one
Is
I
that
keep
the one with
meaning to
Mark
watch, but
Wahlberg?
I haven't watched that one yet.
I think Mark Wahlberg's in it.
Yeah. It's Mark Wall. It's
But
directed
it's-
by
but it's a Michael Bay.
Bay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Explosions. Got it.
not quite. But it's good. It's good. I would recommend
Check
it.
that one out.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
All right.
All right.
Who's next?
All right. You want to go,
I'll go,
Rob, or
'cause
should
mine's
I?
short.
Okay,
Okay.
go for it, man.
I am not going to rep N.K. Jemisin, but I am going to
just
because
did.
because it's me.
Yeah.
Shut up, Tony. Still reading Black Leopard, Red Wolf. It's the lead character is supposed to be helping to track somebody down, but they're doing a lot of character building.
I was going to say, looking at the thickness of that book, you're going to be reading this for a few more months.
This is
aren't
like
you?
a 600-page book, and the print is so tiny.
Oh, you're in Brandon Sanderson territory with that.
So
kinda-
I'm thinking I might have to
page
pick up a
count.
secondary book to just kind of like read through while I'm pouring through this one, because
Yeah.
dear God, it's not that I'm not enjoying it, but it's just one of these. I do most of my reading first thing in the morning, and when you're trying to stay awake and it's the coffee and the book, you're just kind of like, oh dear God, oh wait, no, I just reread that. So,
Yeah.
and it's not that a book is boring; it's just that it's dense. It's a very dense book.
Yeah.
This week, I did not do a lot of media watching because of work doom, but I did catch The Last of Us episodes 2 and 3. Sweet Jesus!
I haven't
For those of us
started
who has
that
not
yet
played the
either.
game, it was like, wow,
Well,
this
it's-
just
to the gut,
happened.
wasn't it?
It's only how many episodes this season? It's like 6 or something like that.
6 or
isn't it?
7, but
6
like,
or 7.
when they hit you like this in episode 2, you're just kind of like, whoa,
Yeah.
slow your
Yeah.
roll.
So
Save some.
we're letting them stack up before we dive in.
Goes hard.
Yeah, it was episode 3. I needed episode 3 after episode 2 because I'm like, ooh, my heart. Doctor Who, and this episode of Doctor Who. I mean, I'm loving the premise of this. Is the Doctor's trying to get somebody home? That is the entire premise of this season.
Okay.
You meet somebody, they go into the TARDIS, and he's like, okay, I'm taking you back home, and he can't get her there. And it's interesting because she's like, I just want to go home and see my family. And he's like, I understand that. But we're going to take the long way around. And this episode was interesting because one of the lead supporting actors in this episode is deaf. And apparently Ncuti Gatwa learned to sign to be able to communicate with her while she was on the set.
Oh, I love that.
And it was just like, it reminded me of like Chadwick Boseman learning Kosha to have dialogue with John Connie in a South African language. But this episode was creepy, and I know that Blink is a controversial episode for Doctor Who fans. I quite frankly love Blink. This one was scary in a very similar way, and also makes a callback to a David Tennant episode when he was the 10th Doctor. And
It's one of my favorite episodes too.
Which one? Which episode?
Midnight
Midnight.
on the
The
train
planet where he's on the bus through the desert.
or the bus.
Oh yeah.
This makes a callback to that, a direct callback to that, and you're like, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was something else, and they hit you with this. You're like, oh, so that was very good. And really quick, Disney. I realized that Disney and Marvel are putting out stuff, and Thunderbolts, yay. I am going to call Disney out for not promoting something, which is Ironheart, which comes out in like 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
And 5 or
Oh,
6 weeks.
Okay.
And you hear, I mean, if you go on YouTube, you can find the trailer for it, but there has been no promotion. And they've promoted other shows
Yeah.
like Agatha All Along, Loki got promoted to Hell and Gone in
Yeah.
movies, and they're like, oh, hey, here's our hype machine. And I understand they may be a little gun shy after the Marvels, but I think they shot themselves in the foot there. But that's just me. But they haven't done anything to promote Ironheart, and much like Captain America, Brave New World, while I enjoyed it and they promoted that, they also gave away a lot in the trailers. They also the movie could have been so much more. But Ironheart. So when this comes out, please watch it. Please go look for the trailer. If you're not familiar with it, watch Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, where they introduce Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams. And yeah, just that. So Disney, give them a little something. Come on, you've got money.
I'll go a step further. You should read the comic book.
Yes.
I read the first year of that, and
Yes.
then I would pass them along to Gina's daughter, and she loved it.
Yeah, and Riri's a great character who deserves attention and awareness. And I'm not just saying that because she's a character of color. She's a good character in the Marvel universe that deserves awareness. So
I also love that it's in her suit it's Tony Stark that's talking
Yes.
to her.
Yeah.
Tony Stark is her Jarvis. I love
Yes.
that, and I wish that there was a way to do that in this series, but anyway.
But yeah, not so much. Okay, I've only got 4 books really quick for you this week. We're going to start with Ultimate Spider-Man 16. They find out who Mysterio is, and it is not who you expect.
Okay.
Spider-Man is still dealing with the aftermath of the death of Harry Osborn, and you learn a little bit more about the world of the Ultimate Universe and the machinations that the Maker has put into play, and who's watching the Watchmen, so to speak, here. Power Company #1, Josiah Power is back, and he's trying to put together characters who can deal with kind of threats that go, or not threats, with issues that go kind of under the radar of most of the superheroes. You get the Signal, Duke Thomas, Vixen, and the Luke Fox Batman in this as well.
Oh,
And
okay.
they don't all play very nicely together in all situations. And one thing I do appreciate about this is you get a detective story in this issue. They wrap this story in one, so if you want to give it a shot, please do. Kid Juggernaut #1. And we find out that Kane Marco was not the first Juggernaut.
Oh,
There was one that Kane was brought in to deal with and get rid of. But the Crimson Gem of Sidorak still exists, and a fragment has been passed down through a family's line, and a young teenager is the new inheritor of that gem. They're also using this to kind of to bring back the Avengers Academy, which we haven't seen since Civil War, really.
yeah. I was going to say it's been a while.
So I think this is kind of like their jumping in point to, hey, remember this, where young heroes go to train to be heroes? So this is good. And then for the nostalgia, Wolverine and Kitty Pryde #1. This is not a reprint. This is kind of talking about what Wolverine and Kitty went through after Kitty was reprogrammed by Ogun in the original series in the 80s.
Oh,
And I'm not sure what the overarching plot is going to be, but it's Kitty trying to prove, this isn't me. This is what I want to do. I just want to be a teenager, and trying to balance. You were just brainwashed by a rogue samurai to be an assassin, and we've got to find some kind of balance. So if you want to be a kid, we've got to do these things to make sure that you don't just freak out on people. And there's a lot of familiar faces from that original storyline and that timeline. So give that one a shot as well.
all right. Tony.
Well, I didn't watch a whole ton this week. I did finish that reality show that we talked about last week, Got to Get Out.
Who won?
It's stupid, but it's fun. These people are so dumb. I say check it out. If you enjoy watching dumb people do dumb things and fail continuously, which dumb people failing is hilarious.
I just read the news for that.
See? So I had a good time with that one. And they let Simu Liu, who narrates and hosts it, take jabs at the contestants as he narrates.
Good.
And it makes
So
it
then
fun- it
Katy
makes it
Perry
funny.
shouldn't be on this show, is what you're saying.
Oh, she would get demolished. Let's see. So a movie. I didn't really watch any movies. Finished Devil May Cry, the last episode of that. That's a really cool little anime. I think if you like action animes, check it out. Excited to watch the last episode of Righteous Gemstones this weekend. It is the series finale, so I'll be checking that out for sure.
I just finished the penultimate episode,
Yeah.
and all I can say is I need more Dr. Watson in my life.
Yeah, I was the whole time with the whole episodes with Dr. Watson. I was just like, Carrie's got to be eating this up. A little monkey doing things around the house.
Well, that's why I'm telling you, Tony, is that after you finish with Dr. Watson, watch the movie Monkey Shines.
Monkey shine. Okay.
Yes, it's an old movie.
Why are you going to do
and-
that to him, Carrie?
I know, right? You'll love it though. If you think Dr. Watson is hilarious,
And he puts the cigarette in Dr. Watson's mouth. He's just sitting there with a big old cigarette. Let's see. And then game-wise, I finished Avowed, which is that RPG by Obsidian that came out a couple months ago. Really good open-world RPG. Highly recommend that if you like games like Skyrim or Dragon Age, stuff like that. A lot of fun. And then comic books. Finally, DC put Absolute Green Lantern issue 1 on the app. And, whoa, okay, DC, you got my attention with this. Very interesting turn of events here.
all right.
And then also caught up on the latest issue they put out for the Atom Project. That's pretty good. What they're doing there seems really interesting. Seems like lately they've been kind of focusing on Captain Atom as being making him one of those characters that's almost godlike.
They're making him kind of like Dr. Manhattan.
Yes, they're giving him a little bit of Dr. Manhattan juice. So
If along those lines, if you haven't read it yet, Jenny Sparks.
yes, I read all of those and they were
okay.
fantastic.
Okay.
That's where I mean, like that plus this, it makes it like they're really kind of amping his power level up quite a bit. It looks like so, and then also the latest issue that dropped for Absolute Superman. I've been reading that one. It's the one where he gets introduced to Martha and
Yes.
John.
Wasn't that a brilliant take on it for this version of the
Yes.
character?
Yeah, it works so well. So that's me.
Interesting. Just a couple of things that really struck me. Two of my favorite moments of television happened to me this week. First of all was I finished Severance.
Oh,
And I'm telling you, if it ends right there, I'm fine with it.
Sure.
I know it's
It
coming
could.
back for season 3, but if it ends right there, I'm fine with it.
yeah.
And two amazing moments of acting on television this week. First of all, that I witnessed. The goodbye between Bert and Irving
Oh, yeah.
in Severance. Break your heart. Two of the greatest actors that we have right there, you know? And it's so subtle. It's not over the top at all. Just
Yep.
brilliant. But then, episode 6, season 2 of Andor. I'm not going to say the circumstances, but the speech that one character gives to a minor character who is responsible for the death of another character. Go back and watch that. That is some brilliant writing and some brilliant acting.
Andor is a monologue machine.
It is so goddamn good. I was talking with Lee this week. I mentioned it earlier, and he is just absolute. I wish he was here. He is just loving Andor.
Oh my gosh. We have to talk about the recast.
Yes, we do in the after party, which is right now.
Oh, that's where we're headed.
Join us. Geek Show Got This Covered. .com is the link to our Patreon. Small amount of money, you can join us for the after party. That's where all the spoilers and secrets happen. We keep it kind of above board here, but then we delve deep into the spoilers and secrets in the after parties usually. So join us there. And thanks for joining us here. We're headed over there. Join us. GeekShowGotThisCovered.com. Live long and prosper, bitches.